Hey traders, welcome to episode 754 of the show. You could be doing anything, but you're here, and I really appreciate it. Happy Veterans Day. This show is definitely devoted to veterans, those who have fought and died for our country. All right, so shout out to all of you if you're out there watching. I know some of y'all are veterans, so yeah, if you didn't see, and starting soon, yeah, my granddad, veteran. My dad's actually a veteran. He was in the Navy. But yeah, those just pictures were awesome. I mean, my granddad was like a tank commander in Normandy or whatever, and got a Purple Heart, a bunch of other medals too. Also, they're at my parents' house. I'll have to like bring them by take a picture at least to see exactly all the medals. But it's pretty cool. But Troll Tide, man, hold on.
Finch ain't doing things.
Troll Tide tipped $25. Joe borrowed through the Alabama defense like dust.
Finch ain't doing things.
Well, Troll Tide, that might be true, man, but it's not any surprise. It's not like before the day before the before the game, I was in here being like, "Oh, dude, Bama's got this, man. So easiest game of our lives." Like, nah, man. We objectively looked at it, and Bama's linebacking core really inexperienced, really young. Our D-line's young too, and that is, I mean, really bad. I mean, that's what happens, right? Not enough pass rush, even though we got a few sacks. Just couldn't stop them when we needed to. I mean, how many third downs did LSU have, and how many did they convert? They converted a lot. So, hey man, whatever. It was a wonderful experience getting to, you know, go to that game. It was very crazy. But thank you, Troll Tide, so much. I'm sure, you know, you're excited. Maybe you might be. This is the weekly on VeChain, by the way. We're starting the show with VeChain because Bitcoin is down $330 today, down almost 4%. Things looking kind of scary, right, chat? We've got less than an hour to go until the daily close, 4-hour candle close, but something's developing on it, and we're going to look at it in a second. I just wanted to show you the power of the weekly bullish divergence, the Class B bullish divergence, where you have a low on price, you eventually make the same low, and you have higher levels of relative strength on that same low. It means impending price action reversal to the upside. Well, bullish engulfing candle and all this follow through price action, pretty freaking good. Where VeChain is on the weekly is that low wick from August 2018. We have not broken that. We're just at it right now. So it'll be interesting to see the correlation in our price action to that. Going to the daily, a little bit more stuff going on here. You know, falling wedge from the height of the Walmart rumor euphoria to the low point. Candle close. We've just now officially touched a 50% retrace. All right, so half of VeChain's value has been restored from the highest point of a candle close of the Walmart rumor stuff. If you remember that, it was crazy. Hindsight, Gartley was nuts too. Like, how does that happen, right? 786, boom. And that's it. So long way to go before any kind of double bottom, if it would ever become real. You'd have to break the neckline, which was, again, go with the weekly. Also, my music is weird. Right, you have to go all the way up here to like 82% of a penny to really, I mean, that's probably the neckline. So you break that, back test it. Okay, we got a confirmed double bottom, but for now it's just a standard potential double bottom. And we're only halfway to where we need to be. Okay, so this, look on the weekly, you know, you're at 56, 55, so much room to run before you're overbought again. So market participants really wanted to push this thing up. Probably Chinese market participants, lots of room to run. Go back to daily real quick. Overbought though, right? You're overbought, had a 50% retrace, and you could be trying to develop some bearish divergence on the RSI, but it's too early to tell. I mean, it could just keep breaking the upside and keep going, and we could invalidate any kind of bearish divergence that could be forming. All right, so VeChain, literally.
VeChain doing things.
It's good, man. It's good. Let's try this.
VeChain doing things.
Crap. Try to make it say VeChain and stop it. Let me try that one more time, okay?
XRP going to the moon. Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it again. It's annoying. I'll get better at it. I'll do it off stream, and we'll mash it up, make it work. Hello? Good Lord. Get your stuff together. Music. Okay, let's go to Bitcoin. Again, happy Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day. Get it? It's double meaning. So, bearish engulfing candle being painted on the daily. That one button, man.
VeChain doing things.
Vet Moonboy tipped $25. So many people will back on us and say, damn, these fools were talking about Vet back when it was a shit coin. They must be loaded.
Let's go, dude. Man, I mean, what are they going to be like? You know, seeing an archived video of me with a Vet Moonboy hat on, right? I mean, what are they going to say to that? They're going to be like, what? They couldn't believe it, man. They couldn't believe it, but then all of a sudden, Chinese government starts saying, hey, blockchain's legit, and we need to get behind it. Oh my god, dude, sorry. Song changes, everything gets screwed up. Soon I may not be able to do this anymore. I may not be able to play music anymore. Dude, I'm telling you, what YouTube is doing now is crazy. They changed their terms of service. Oh, I guess I'm learning more that Oh, okay. Oops. Yeah, I can do that. It seems like what the agenda is for YouTube is they don't want people to get big because of YouTube anymore. Okay? They're going like mainstream, and so they're like, because it's like when you get famous on YouTube, you all of a sudden gain influence and power, and that can put people who are in power, that can put them in jeopardy of losing power. So they're really trying to stop that with their new terms of service. What it's saying, the way it's worded, it's like if it's not, you know, financially viable, or that if you don't make money, it's not commercially viable, whatever, then they can close down the account. They've always had the ability to shut down any account anytime they want, of course, but now they're wording it in a way where it's like, if they don't like you, man, they can just, and you're not making them money with ad revenue or something, you're screwed. Ad revenue or memberships, which I'm not even eligible for, which is ridiculous. The craziest thing on the planet. And Super Chat, I'm not going to give them 30%. You know, if they want to ban me, fine, go ahead. Ban me, and I'll go somewhere else. But I'm not going to give them 30% of the tips you give me. And they're not going to have the power to not give it to me if they don't want to. That's also another thing with Super Chat. So screw that. But thanks, Batman Boy, man.
Bruh.
Also, for people who were short on vet or something, right? So still outside the channel, man. Still kind of consolidating. Consolidation is still pretty tight. But you're asking, like, Ray, you talked about, you said something about divergence on Bitcoin. Well, yeah, I did, and it's on the 4-hour. And what else is kind of maybe developing are two downsloping converging trend lines, as you can see. Disregard the milkman wick with the euphoria, emotion, people just losing their minds. Okay, craziness. Wait, when do things start like normalizing? Okay, oh, okay, here we go. All right, so 1, 2, 3 now on the bottom, 1, 2 on the top. So it's 5 touches, and this is what I'm talking about. And it's in development now. Okay, I don't think it's really matured, right? I mean, this could continue just skating on down. I mean, it could eventually just keep on skating to 8,500. 8,500 is a critical support resistance zone back from August of 2018, I believe. It was sometime in 2018, and you know, if it keeps scooting on down, right, and stays inside of this wedge or whatever, I mean, you're just looking for, look, see the negative momentum we have now? You're looking for it to probably continue to build a little bit, right, and eventually it'll start rounding out, and when you get that, then it'll be clear as day, bullish divergence. And this is the exact same type of critical thinking that I did back here. Exact same critical thinking from this low to this low on the daily, and that worked out pretty freaking well, didn't it? Yeah. So you just have to think a little bit ahead, like what could develop, what is developing right now. Look on the RSI, you know, it keeps on scooting on down. Maybe we keep going a little bit lower, but as long as when we do decide to pivot on this lower low, wherever it is, if we make a higher level of relative strength than the previous low, that's another form. That's Class A bullish divergence there too. I mean, you could already argue that it's already there, but I do think that there is always a good chance that we could just scoot on down and, you know, get closer and closer to that 8,500 area, and then keep building negative Momo before breaking. You know, on the daily on Bitcoin, remember, it was like here, you know, thought maybe that we'd get the same thing where it'd keep building, but it didn't. You didn't have very much time at all. You had to be up in the morning to even see that the engulfing candle beginning at a critical support with the divergence maturing so quick on the RSI, and it's like, whoa, MACD too. So yeah, you're just not gonna, you know, you just don't really ever know when it's gonna stop, but you know that at some point when it does stop, there's a real good chance divergence is gonna be valid and real. Okay, so just, you get it, man? Y'all understand what I'm talking about? Maybe somewhat. That's way too big. That's what she said. And that could be great for all altcoins when Bitcoin decides to whatever. I'm trying to just make it. Jeez, man. That's not what I want. Okay, then I'll just draw it here like this. Fine. All right, something like that. Jeez. Okay, and at the same time, that's great. You know, you have two, awesome. I think someone's talking about the crossovers on the MACD. You know, bullish crossover coming to. I mean, yeah, it happened. Definitely happened, but you know, you're still good news, I guess. Yeah, I mean the crossover. I mean you're on the bottom side, so normally with these lines, with the histogram lines, you know, normally it's not, you know, up here. If it's like that, then chances are it's probably not going to keep going like that, right? And eventually we'll get a crossover, and then look what happens. The little correction's been going on. Now we're back on the bottom side, and we got the daily on this histogram lines. See, the thing is, like, you know, we had a nice crossover right here. Anytime like the two EMAs, it's really like three, but there's two lines, but once it crosses over into positive territory, it's normally good. So it doesn't look that great on the daily, but it is good that it is above neutral. So that's kind of an update there. I'm at 4 hour. It's on the daily here, sorry. Okay, sweet. So kind of a falling wedge developing until it's not, until it breaks it to the downside and scrubs out. Create a falling wedge, and you're beginning to, it looks like, develop divergence, but it's not yet matured, so there might be lower prices in store for us, but maybe not too much lower. That's the analysis. Okay, that's what we're looking for. So I guess we want to just do an update on the corn.
Is that a joke?
Nick, man, oh my god, I'm in the chat. Let's go.
Is that a joint?
Hype in the chat! Dude, so like, you gotta hear me out here. I'm working on this, and I'm just gonna show you my rough draft, alright? I need to get the sound clip too on here. How do I do this, man? Give me 2 seconds. Let me try to set this up on my stream deck so I can make it kind of unscuffed with sound effects. You'll like it, I think. I mean, maybe not. Some of y'all might not. It's a big but where is it, you know? Like, I have to download it again? This has to be it. Okay, I'm gonna give this a shot. That too. And there's nothing I can do about this right now. It's gonna, no matter what I do, it's gonna be scuffed until we completely refine it. And we're in the process of doing that right now. But source. Oh my god, is this gonna work? I don't know. Okay, seriously have no idea. Probably won't, but I'm about to give it a shot. Okay, chat. It is time for us to power up. Power down. Oh my bad, sorry. Higher than chat for that.
Bruh.
So anyway, we can yeah, let's go to the log scale just so we can understand what, you know, kind of damage has been done to the overall long-term uptrend. Probably not much anything. What's up, Johnny BTV?
Bruh.
Thanks for infotainment.
Thank you for the 101 of Ethereum, dudes. 101, dude. Thanks. All right, so there's the bearish engulfing kind of being painted. It's not a very large one, whatever. You're still like, look, you're at that October level still. You're not below it. You're not below the area from July of 2018. That's what it was, not August, July. And so look, there's lower we can go. Even if the trend was to be in jeopardy, you could go as low as 81.20, which I don't think we want to do that, but it's always a possibility. That's right, SJ, man. Happy Veterans Day. Veterans Day is doing things. Maybe it's because of that. Kappa. All right, so not really in trouble, I think, until we fall below that 8,500 mark, right? And I'm talking, we could fall below it intraday, but as long as you close above it, you're fine. As long as we hold above the upsloping support around 81.50, you're okay. If you're asking or talking about the long-term uptrends, that's it though. Okay. Keeping it analyzed, keeping it tight. Video game stocks wrecked. Whatever. Dow Jones all-time highs. S&P 500 no all-time highs today, but it didn't do anything. Really just kind of hung around. It did gap down a little bit, then almost immediately, like in the first like 30 minutes, already like pulled back to the upside. Okay. Let's take a look at Ethereum. You know, that had been doing things. Let's take a look at it on log scale, man. All right. So, you know, just unable to really go anywhere, right? It's holding, you know, between 163.53 and can't really break above 200, 198. Okay, that's it. And now you might be forming, you know, just a rectangle or maybe a wedge of some sort. You know, if you use the wick, then yeah, it's definitely just like a pennant, right? Impulse and then the pennant after the impulse. And you're not overbought. You know, you maybe could call that bearish divergence, but again, you're starting to bearishly engulf. You're hitting that 75% trend line, the Eggleston channel, and not going anywhere, dude. So I don't know, man. It's you're in the downtrend, right? You're still in a correction on Ethereum. How deep has Ethereum retraced in linear scale? Just bear with me a sec, just so we can give you an update. I think it's only like a 61% retrace. You know, how like Litecoin almost retraced 78% of the way. Ethereum only retraced. Okay, never mind. Ethereum actually got pretty close to a 70%. So we'll say a 74, 75% retrace from the low to high on ETH. That's a pretty deep retrace. People could argue there's value down there. But again, nothing even matters. Unless, you know, it's all about Bitcoin, man. Being real. It's not really about Ethereum. Ethereum has done nothing different. Until something miraculous changes with Ethereum, it will always be in Bitcoin shadow. Right? VeChain did something different. Government policies may be changing, and it might be great for VeChain. You know, it's like the government might like what VeChain's doing for China. They're like a mafia. So, hey, that's probably really good for them. That's a fundamental thing going on, you know. But with Ethereum, none of that's happening. So why would this, you know, buck the trend of Bitcoin? Why would this do anything different than Bitcoin right now? But then we talk about XRP, and it's like, I guess XRP is always changing. They always got new partnerships coming out. I think, what was Alex Cobb was talking about? 50% of the XRP partnerships aren't even announced, or they aren't even like public or something. So I mean, even with fundamentals, you know, and good things happening to your project or your team or your altcoin, that doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna buck Bitcoin either. So it's kind of weird. So I guess we can go to XRP now, you know, which is, it's a touchy subject, man. Jeez. It's more like we're going to politics now. Politics coin, welcome. Asset that is, you know, at the bottom of a range. It had, you know, it had been above that support for a while, and now it's below it. And all it's done at this point is, when it broke it, it back tested it, regarded it as resistance when it was, I guess, a support. Again, resistance, and down 2%, nearly 2% on the day. And you know how low we can go. I mean, there might be a small amount of support at 26.7 cents, but really, you know, I mean, maybe a candle close at 26 cents on the dot, but it's really bad that you're below. Okay. Really bad. And here's now something that could be in development, and, you know, call me crazy, whatever. Something like this, maybe. It's a little too deep, right? 67%. But there you go, right? Harmony, X, A, B, C, D. It's not that weird. I mean, look at the negative momentum building. So yeah, you got lows, lower lows, higher levels of negative momentum, not good, and plenty of room to run the downside. If market participants wanted, I mean, it's 42, so it's pretty close to bearish on the RSI now on the daily. You just really couldn't sustain prices ever above 60. Like never, man. Like look at that. It's just like 60, forget about it. Try, fail, back into scrub territory on the RSI, which is okay, right? That's fine. If you look at the overall uptrend, you know, that Poloniex chart, it's still okay. It's not a big deal. I mean, you just have to be patient on this one. You really have to be patient. So maybe value areas at 24 cents again, if we can get down there. And this is what I'm talking about. Let me show you. I was talking to Larley today. Made an adjustment to the weekly. All right, so if you're looking at the weekly here, you know, it's like anchor point 1 and then the candle high close here. And when you make that adjustment, you get more touches. Makes more sense. Okay, 75, heart line, heart line, heart line, heart line. And then when you broke the 25, you tried to break back above it and failed, and now here you are. So still seems okay. What was it he was saying? Give me a sec. About the amount of time it took on these things. Okay, so we're now 48 days since touching the bottom trend wall. Okay, the last time in 2017, the second touch happened, and it was 65 days after the first. So from here to here, 65 days. From here to where we are now, it's 48 days. So if history was to repeat itself, you still gotta, you know, what, like 20 more days or something like that. Okay, but everything's okay, man, for now on XRP. Just going sideways. That's what happened. Hey, how many people gave up on XRP before it blew up, you know? People quit. Screw XRP. It's all over for XRP. It's done, man. We're out. I'm out of here. This is doing nothing. Then bam, right? You missed everything. And not too much of time, right? It only took like a couple months before it was, you know, I don't even know how much it gained, you know, the value increased in an asset. Like 8,694%. Yeah, because you go from like 3 cents to like 44 cents. So crypto is wild because like most of the gains happen in a very small amount of time. Like if you look at a whole calendar year, all the gains that happen for Bitcoin or maybe an altcoin happen in just not much time. And that's why it is important to keep your ear to the ground on these markets and continue analyzing, continue scanning, make adjustments when the data, you know, when we get new pieces of data, we make our adjustments and we keep going, right? Okay, that's XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, VeChain. Okay, so let me scroll up a little bit, say hi to chat. It was awesome to see Vet Moonboy briefly. Okay, I'm sure he's back in his rocket ship or something now. And Troll Tide, they both showed up. And then freaking super hype for new patron. Thank you, dude. It doesn't even show up on my Streamlabs anymore. It's so weird. Nick, man, thanks again, dude. Okay, so what's up, local dinosaur, Brookolinos, stay-at-home Kangs, man. Dan G, John C, yes, Rubino, Fish Heads. Hey, Aussie 85, how about it, man? Oh, Mr. Peabody. Good to see you, dude. Mr. Burger, hey, traders indeed. RS Nerd, heck yeah, dude. Hey, Wayne Batson, Ryan P. Wow, Adrian A, someone said that. Someone, actually, VeChain or Vet Moonboy actually said the same thing you said earlier in the stream. Wow. Johnny BTV, Thanks again, dude, and hi to you. Just seeing your, seeing you when I scrolled up in chat. What's up, Chaylin, man? Did you like that? It'll get better. It'll be less scuffed, but you get what I'm going for. Keep the powerful machine and what is it? Keep the powerful machine in power while stepping on the backs of those who deem undeserving. Sign up today. Yeah, that's YT. Absolutely. Broadcast yourself. Now, broadcast corporations. I don't know if I'll be going to D-Live now. Man, it's, ugh. Peabody, what do you want to do? You want to do that? Is there none of that on the Patreon? Let me see what I can do here. This one's a little different because it's 0xABCD. It's not XABCD, so it's a little bit different of a harmonic. All right, I'm gonna make sure I've got it exactly right. Okay. So a shark is like a failed cipher. I like calling the deep crab is a failed bat. So it's like you're looking at a bullish shark. X to A doesn't matter. A to B, 50%. Then you're gonna get a higher high. Okay, 1414, and then you go down to it's either 88% retrace. It can be an 88% retrace. Let me see what I can do here. Hold on. $113% though is super kingish too. 113%, man. That's what you're looking for a shark. Sorry, trying to get it perfect. What is this, dude? Hold on. Oh yeah, King Logan. Oh my god, man, so ridiculous. Okay, so you get it. It can be either an 88% retrace or it can be 113% retrace. All right, so it's 0, X, A, B, C, and then D. It's like the 5-0. Okay, so like there's something called a bullish 5-0 that is also, it has to do with a shark. And so sorry, it's getting kind of weird here, but like normally this is what you're looking for, to run up at that point. But so 0, X, A, B, C. There is no D on the shark, but it's weird because it's like on a bullish 5-0, I think you can, this would be like a bearish 5-0, I believe, where you would go short at a 50% retrace or get done. Okay, so high to low, here's your 50%. There, that's like the target for the shark. One's taken along, right? So, for instance, here we got a great example. I know someone that knows about it real well, and he loves Clemson. Oh my God, you gotta be kidding me, dude! Look what it's done today. Oh, it's so perfect. All right, image in your mind. Oh, and by the way, so on the shark, this can actually go between a 113% retrace. So it can go like just barely, like right here. It can almost be a double top, but it has to be just slightly higher. But it can go all the way up to a 1618 fib extension, the gold mean ratio. That's criteria. All right, A to B, high to low is how you get fib extensions there. All right, so here we are. We've been analyzing this, talking about this one forever now. Okay, this is Regeneron Pharmaceuticals. It hit nearly a 113% retrace, had a falling wedge, had all kinds of crazy bullish divergence. I don't know why it's got to be like the weekly or something. Monthly. I don't know. It's not the damn. Okay, so like look, all the way down. And that's what happens, man. Sometimes on these harmonics, like impulses, and you start developing bullish patterns, which only helps the case for harmonics when you're showing converging price action, nearing a PCZ of a pattern with divergence. Man, your argument becomes really strong. So from that high point to low point, the way I did it here, high to low, 50% retrace, target, 50% freaking retrace, pretty much hitting it today.
Bruh.
Very close. I mean, probably tomorrow we'll hit it.
Thanks again for all the excellent advice. Have a great evening, Mitch.
JeffTube, thanks for the 25 XRP. The $6.88 worth of it. Much love, dude. Just filling my bags, man. Getting ready for the XRP lift off in 20 days or something. Capo. We don't really know when it's going to blow to the upside if it does. Okay. So does that help at all, Mrs. Peabody? Yes, no, maybe so. All right. Going back. A to B, remember, because it's 0, X, A, B, C. But fortunately, I mean, you know, it's, I don't really know why they do 0, X, A, B, C, D, because at the 50% is like that 5-0 pattern, and that's where you go short. So maybe that's why they do it, because this would be D in that situation. But that's really the target, man. And I guess you could just think about a 618 as a golden retrace. So fine, target 1's 50%. Then you can go secondary target. Fine, 618. Sure. That's just for a trade. I mean, Regeneron might go much higher, but this thing has gone straight up since sitting near that PCZ, since showing the divergence, since the wedge breakout. It's gone straight up. Beautiful. Okay. That was for you, Mr. Peabody.
Bruh.
You just put your 3D glasses on, those harmonics. Let's go, dude. Hype in the chat! Wow. Yes, VeChain doing things. Check out the title. I augmented it sneakily before the stream started. Ooh, I gotta change something. Probably is updated now.
Is that a joint?
Can't wait to rewatch that education in the Patreon later. As always, your insight is appreciated.
Jay Dinks, man, thanks for the 420. Yes, you will. This education that we just did will be clipped, and it will be uploaded, and it will be posted to the Patreon feed. So at your leisure, you get to watch the small clip of everything we just talked about. That's an amenity of the Patreon. Now Nick will be able to see it as well, you know, once it gets uploaded. Take a minute. So thank you, J Dinks, man. Kings. Ready to short. Well, the thing is, right? Yes, you're overbought. It's blowing to the upside. Man, think about Regeneron, which is kind of scary. It makes me not really feel like doing much. Oh, sorry, I don't know what's going on. Oh, log scale. Sorry. What makes me feel kind of nervous about shorting Regeneron is the fact that on the monthly, we had triple MACD, bullish divergence. We had some pretty much, what was this? We had Class C bullish divergence. That should be green, right? Yeah, Class C bullish divergence on the monthly. But C doesn't really mean impending price action reversal, but it does strengthen your case if you're showing this kind of divergence on the MACD. All right, so right there, bullish engulfing, huge fall through price action on this new week. You have to understand. I mean, I guess we're 11 days in, huge green candle, and not even close to being a rock. You're at 49. So for a trader, yeah, profit taking levels. But the thing is, on the 5-0s, right? Don't you want to have like coinciding variables at that 50% retrace? You want to have like a bearish pattern developing. You want to have some sort of okay. And so at a log, we haven't hit a 50% retrace yet. So my bad there. I got stuck in log, didn't see it. So there's still a little bit more room to run. I know some people do take profit at B at 330, or it would just be B. It was a sharp, but the 50% retrace is 356. So very close, very close. So maybe up there if we're showing bearish divergence or something, okay, but you're not really showing any kind of coinciding variables nearing this profit taking level, right? Stronger if you have lots of bearish stuff going on, which we don't have much at all. Just super overbought. Lots of positive momentum. Huge volume came in, right? largest volume candle we had seen since October of last year. So it was like an entire year since we had seen that much. So there you go, man. Sorry, man, my like left contact's killing me, man. Why do charts from different websites show different prices? Because different people trade on those exchanges, Joe Simonson. It's literally that simple. Just like, hey, why is Bitcoin on, Poloniex this? Why is it this on Coinbase? Why is it only on Binance? Because there are different market participants in each exchange. Nothing's going to be like perfect. Mr. Peabody says, after 2 days, join the Patreon and finding my own harmonics. Bearish bat on MTOR. Feels so good. Oh, yeah, dude. Remember we were talking about that one yesterday, I think? Murator. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's a bat. Potential bat, right? Let's just go to it, whatever. Meritor. The issue with this one, Mr. Peabody, is you only have 500,000 volume, right? That's like half what we need. That's half of the minimum. We want it like 1 million volume. So yeah, it's there, but it's just not as liquid as, you'd prefer. 48% retrace, 88% retrace roughly. So what does that mean? It's an 88% retrace. Like this is a beautiful potential trade setup, man. Right? On MTOR. Your issue kind of is that there's, I guess there's a kind of a double top on your histogram. So there's a little bit of class C bearish divergence going on. But maybe in the, from this high to this high, there is a little bit of divergence. You can see it, lower relative strength on the higher highs at the PCZ. This could turn into something big. This could turn into the impending price action reversal. Maybe, right? Even if it fails, man, what's the big deal, right? Like, oh no, the trade failed, so I guess we just better quit. No, always be scanning, always be looking for opportunity. You gotta have a pipeline. It's like sales, man. Have a pipeline of assets that are working towards an entry on a trade, right? Have your alerts set up. If you don't have pro version, well, I don't know how you can do it. If you don't have many alerts set up on many assets, how are you gonna know when they hit you? It makes it real nice to where you can analyze a chart. You can analyze many charts. Set up your alerts. Forget about them. You hear the beep, right? You come back to it and you're like, oh, okay, man, this one's pretty close. Now I'm going to start monitoring this one a lot more than I was because I look at so many charts, right? So a really simple bread and butter way of going short. It hit the 886. That's the entry. And one would have a stop slightly above X. Okay. And the way Casey Stubb does it is like this, right? Goes down all the way to C, which doesn't always happen. From the low point to high point, the lowest low to that highest, that D highest high, that's how you Fibonacci for these. So look, a 50%, 2.51, not quite what you're looking for, right? 618 though, puts you at 3-to-1 reward to risk. And that's a lot more reasonable than coming all the way down to 1652. It may never get there. So you gotta, layering out of a trade is always good. So maybe this is what you need. This is what MTOR needs to sell off. But man, it's like just super range bound or something, man. Kind of reminds me of the IWM or something. It's range bound. Okay. Accumulation, look, 98% retrace, then higher lows again, more accumulation. What? Blast off to the top of the range. Very close to it. All right. So you think about it like that, but then again, it's like, hey, that isn't technically the lowest risk area, even if it's a harmonic. That's like the area to take the entry because it may not hit the 100% retrace, but $24.98 to $25 is pretty much the lowest risk area for an entry for a trade. So one can layer in, right? One can start a position here on a short at 24 bucks, where it is, And then, you know, instead of going 100% in at 24 bucks, you can put one could put half the position short here. And then if it ever makes it back up to 25 bucks, boom, that's a psychological resistance. And then one could put half their short, instead of putting all of it at 24, half of it at 25. So you're layering into a position, and then you can start layering out, right? 618, and then down to like the 886, 786, right? Layering in, layering out, really good. Okay, sweet. MTOR. Million volume minimum is what you're looking for. Seems like there's lots of hype for education in here, Kappa. Jeez, man. Okay. Well, to be expected, I guess. All right, let's go look at some more Chinese S coins. Why not? Neo up on the day, 1.41%. Looking very similar to VeChain. Except VeChain is doing things more than Neo now, where they all kind of did it together, that big impulse, and now you've got some sort of consolidation going on. And you know, after hitting a 38% retrace and reversing your price, you didn't sell off much at all. So there's definitely more upside potential here. Resetting the oscillator on the daily, not overbought. You were overbought when you hit up here, not anymore. And it's like, look, you got negative momentum building, but no price action. So it's like, that's good. You know, Bitcoin's a little different on the 4 hour. It's like, you know, we had some price action. Now if we start just sputtering and we barely move at all and we just keep building negative momentum, that's probably pretty good. You know, that's, you know, you're not going to get much big negative histogram wicks if the price action sputters. All right, Bitcoin's still above the 4 hour 200 moving average, which is good. It's right at it. We got less than 10 minutes to go until your daily candle close. Excuse me. Yeah, so Microsoft was just really in a range, and it broke out, right? Gapped up, earnings, and it hit all-time highs, or not all-time, did it hit all-time highs? Pretty sure it did. Making sure, Tech Bubble always looks at that. Yeah, all-time highs on Microsoft today. And if you're just looking at, you know, a measured move of a range, you can do that. You can use Fibonacci, right? There's many ways to target where we could reverse. Look, the high point to the low point, previous high to low. Look, you're at a 1.414. The gold mean ratio is around 148.76. Then you got 150. It's also just a big psychological resistance map. So yeah, this thing broke out of a range, it seems like. And if you want to talk about measured moves, sure, we can do that. So it's a much more open-minded look. I mean, it's much higher than that 1618, right? 148, 150, and this is 152.52. So not too much further. It's only a couple dollars off that psychological resistance. That's like $4 off the 1618 higher. So that's another way to look at, you know, maybe a range. But, you know, of course, this did definitely look like it. And it doesn't even matter, right? Watch this. It's like, oh, okay. You can argue that an ascending triangle developed. Well, guess what, dude? It's the same measurement, right? So, great. Ascending triangle. Okay. Nothing changes. With Fibonacci, nothing changes with measured move. But we know, like, right, ascending triangles only hit about 70% of the measured move. So wow, right? Fibonacci, the 1618 seems like a pretty reasonable area where we could see a reversal. 148.76. It's about 60% of the measured move, probably. Maybe 150 is like the 70%. 70% of the measured move. Okay. So nice on Microsoft, Mr. Wolver. That was for you, dude. Chris Richards, I don't think anyone knows if Bitcoin is going to dump because of the Chinese New Year. All right. I mean, has it not dumped already? I mean, I think it did. I think it went from nearly $14,000 to a low of like $7,300, and now we're sitting at $8,710. So I think we did pull back. We've been pulling back. So, we want to move on to another tech giant. We can, man. And we can look at Apple. Apple. Poor guy. He'd still be getting slaughtered on his position if he had any more money, right? If that position was still open. I think it was expiring like that next week or something. So, it didn't matter. But continuing to climb, and that's the craziness about these butterflies. The range, the PCZ, is huge. So this was the 1272, and people were asking me about how will we target, blah blah blah, if that was where we reversed, but we didn't. So it's going to keep climbing. All right, I'm showing you high point to low point of this pattern, 1272. This is off just a little bit, I guess, because can't really see. All right. It's like whatever. So in between the 1272 and the 1618, you can reverse anywhere in here, and you got it. You're looking for divergence more. Look, this thing's super overbought. It's like nearly 80 on the RSI. So definitely can pull back at some point, but and you're continuing to diverge a little bit on the MACD, but you're still just holding on to positive momentum, continuing to climb. I mean, you might not stop till 272. It's crazy. There's no real major impending price action reversal on the daily. Maybe the weekly. I don't know. Probably. Look at the weekly, dude. Just stupid. Weekly, no divergence at all. I mean, yeah, it kind of had a little bit in development, but look at that positive memo. Look how overbought you are. You're higher on the RSI on the weekly than you are the daily. Not by much, but still, it's talking the highest level of relative strength we've seen on a weekly time scale since May of 2017. May of 2017. Wow. But where's May? May of 2017. Look at that. It was so overbought, and then just pulled back a little bit, and then kept going. Look where it went from there. Continued on up, man. This is insanity. All right, so it could keep going. Beautiful. Apple Connect. Patrick, yeah, man, it's a wonderful thing. Seriously, is. Being self-learned, self-sufficient, self-reliant. It's a very good thing, man. Been live now for about an hour. Thanks so much for the 420.
Is that a joint?
Core people here that actually care about learning and trading and all that. You're here like every day. All right, through thick and thin, through the in-between, the 420 core members. I mean, y'all are it. I mean, right, Bitcoin pumps any. I've got 1,000 concurrent viewers. 600 are the fakers, the ones that are only here for the pump. They're not here to learn and invest in themselves and become better, and they're not trying to learn how to do this stuff on their own. So big round of applause for you guys. Adrian, you got some sort of context or something? think so, man. Don't think there's any way you could have a... maybe that. Maybe, man. Let me just check it, because this is really, really scuffed. Make sure I've got... And it was way too deep if you use the wick. Now, if you use the candle close, it's not too deep. It's almost... It's really nice. Yeah. Yeah, dude. I guess you could maybe argue on MoneyGram. 786, right? This, if you don't use that crazy wick, but again, it's like you might be off. I mean, it might be completely invalid, right? If you use the wick, it's a 67% retrace, you know. So, I'm not using the wick, just the candle close. Look, it's like candle close, candle close, candle close. I mean, candle close. If you just start using candle closes here, it's still valid, right? 786, like perfect. Look at that. The 786 is confluent with the 1618 at that pretty much. So 283, yeah, there might be actual good value there. Legit. So we will see what happens by the time you get there, if you do get there, because you're still holding the support, believe it or not. Just barely. So you may never get down there because of critical supports. You're just kind of back testing an area again. You did gap down and it wasn't too bad of a gap. Look, there's a gap fill at 393 right there. So that could just run up and you may never get down there. But if you do get the alert, I mean, you're looking at 285 or something for a potential entry for long. Oh man, look at the freaking divergence on the MACD that's going on, right? Low on price, slightly low on price, a lot lower levels of negative momentum. Looking pretty decent there. This is the daily time scale. Wow, not bad. Hidden bullish divergence didn't really manifest into anything, did it? No, it did not. So, wow. You may never get down there if that really plays out. No divergence on the RSI. It's a little bit of bearish convergence. Okay, what was it? Okay, we can look at that one, I guess. Doesn't really matter. So, unfortunately, I mean, it's like still weird, you know, still don't know yet. Still mysteries abound on Ethereum Classic that kind of had a breakout. I mean, you want to call this a breakout? It's like a walkout. Okay, it's protesting around universities everywhere. Ethereum Classic. All the injustices of Ethereum. What it's done to Ethereum Classic. Big protest. Anyway, Kappa. So just, I guess, skating along the downsloping resistance, maybe regarding it as support now. And if it was to ever make a common retrace on this breakout, profit taking levels could be around 624 to 762, layering out at your discretion. Different fib nodes. 302, 50%, 618, boom, up here. That's where, but again, you are not able to break critical resistances, right? You're hitting, it's a very, very important area, isn't it? Look, you can just see it. 1, 2, 3, fail. So kind of back testing it, saying no, we're not above it yet. If you ever get above that, though, that's really nice because that's above the 236 too. But I think we have a valid swing low. All right. But hey, it's gonna probably have something to do with Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin's performance will definitely dictate a lot of Ethereum Classic's performance too. Oh my god, music is so good. Wow, it ends as soon as I try to adjust. Good god. Oh yeah, daily close, sorry. Look on me, it's on the go, man. go ahead, Bitcoin. Here it is, daily bearish engulfing candle painted. Right, it is real, confirmed. Negative momentum building. RSI 46.84. Red on the day, down $15. Oh no. Still outside the channel that you broke out of. You broke out of it October 26th. It's now November 11th. Been correcting ever since the little buying climax. It's crazy. So much euphoria, so much insanity. But all the insanity is gone. All the FOMO scrubs are gone too. Alright, so going from the daily now to the 4 hour, the divergence that we're thinking about, the negative momentum building, right? New 4 hour candle, another negative histogram wick, and we're looking for something like this to eventually mature. RSI, again, we're saying it's already there, but if the price keeps down, you come back down below 8,600, keep on skating around for you at 8,500, which is a critical support resistance back from 2018. That's how we could get higher levels of negative Momo, and that's how we can get lower levels of relative strength. But as long as you stay above that November 8th low, 25.4, you're still going to be showing divergence, even if it just keeps on coming down. So keeping our eye on that, and waiting for maybe some maturation of this new little histogram island of negative momentum that's developing right now. Okay. Oh yeah. Mad Gold, I swear, I hope you saw that I was literally looking at Ethereum Classic probably when you even said that, dudes. That was the last asset I actually looked at. Wow. Am I going big on the Hawks tonight? No, I don't even know what sport that is, dude. The Hawks? Is that hockey? Gotta be hockey. Or basketball, maybe? Hype for different sports. Oh yeah, for sure, Bradford. Bull flag blinded me? What? Bull flag blinded me, even though we're kind of still in one. I mean, blinded me? Dude, I've been talking about the idea that we could easily come and back test 8,500 at some point because we never did. See, people just cherry pick. They come in the stream, they don't watch the whole stream, they just watch minutes of it. They don't see the full analysis. They don't watch every day. They just, everyone loves, oh man, he was wrong. It's like, okay, dude. Like, whatever, man. I don't have to go live, but I choose to because there are people that I care about that do want to know what's going on. But man, for all the haters, just go watch a Moonboy channel, okay? Stop watching me. If you're a hater, I don't want you to watch me. Yes, I look very much like Morgan Page, which is really weird. We look very similar. Oh, closing something. Yeah, man, God forbid I go live and try to help people when they're, and then people like are complaining talking crap about me being live, and it's like you realize what kind of degenerates go live all the time, right? And I'm actually trying to do good in the world and help people, and I get no help from YouTube, right? None of these streams are monetized. It's all free, right? So it's like, you're complaining about what, dude? Okay, man. So whatever. I don't know, man. There's not really anything else to talk about. So whatever, man. It's like, I will just work on other things. So I'll be back probably tomorrow. So thanks so much for watching today. Y'all are amazing. Y'all are updated on Bitcoin. You know what's happening. Potential divergence developing. 8,500 looms. We haven't tested that yet. And like I've said a million times, we could still test 8,500. And maybe around then we'll be maturing on our 4-hour bullish divergence. So let's be back later. Thanks, Nick, for joining the Patreon. Thanks, Jay Dinks, for the tip. Thanks, Bet Moonboy. Till next time, respect for TA.